Hi everybody, I'm Sean. I'm here at Leica Store San Francisco, and we are going to check out the new 35mm 1.4 steel rim in black, which I have right here, and I happen to have someone nice enough to let us open this up for them. I always like to open these up from the bottom. There's no thumb groove. Okay, what's our standard Leica box? Looks very similar to the 50mm Noctilux box. This one has a production date of June 19th, 2023, it says, which is interesting. Maybe they delayed the rollout on this, or it's a misprint. Who knows? Leica does a lot of mysterious things. All right, very much like the special edition Noctilux box. Below we got the standard paperwork, nothing terribly exciting, at least not for me. This is the good stuff. Let's slip this open and see what's inside. Again, packaging very much like the Noctilux. We've got cap. We have the round threaded style lens shade on top. Lens case, and the lens package itself. Let's pop the tube open. There it is. 35 1.4 steel rim with Olex type lens shade. That's a 12502 on that shade. Let's pop this guy out of there. I'm going to put the rear lens cap on just so I don't fingerprint anything. It's a very pretty lens. It's exactly like the silver lens that you can buy now off the shelf. It does have the black paint infinity lock button, which they did on the first samples of these. This compared to the original has a larger steel rim on it to accommodate the E46 filters. The first versions took a much smaller filter and was a much smaller diameter, but does have the wings out here for the aperture ring. So you can get out here to turn the aperture ring. I have somewhere here. This is an original silver steel rim. So you get a sense of the size difference of these two. They're pretty similar. This one's got the shade or the filter on it. I believe this is an E41 filter on the original. So 1960s, 2024. Both of these lenses have the characteristic of being flare prone at 1.4 and giving you a softer, more of a dreamier look with that flare. It really imparts its own signature to the photograph when you're using the 35 1.4 steel rim. The lenses, when you stop these down, just a couple stops, they're just as sharp as anything else made right now. So it's a great lens to have in your arsenal. It's a fun lens to shoot with. The black ones, there's only 200 of these out there. We're fortunate enough to have this one to show you today, but you will be able to acquire the silver one. Now, I think even more interesting than this lens, which I'm going to move these things aside, is I also have another original steel rim lens, boxed as this one is, and you can see that the boxes are similar. You can see the design influences. You turn this one around. Both of them show the optical construction. Both of them have the little caricature of the lens on the front with the inventory code. And this is an original black steel rim. So this is the lens from which this lens was designed. Also has the Olex lens shade. Pull this guy out of there. Also has the black enamel infinity lock. And you can see the heritage comes right across, and you need a new lens from the old lens. Both are red scale, both have the black anodizing, both have the knurled base rims, where you grab a hold of the lens to mount it and dismount it. The original one has a paint filled in red dot, whereas the new one has your typical raised red dot that you see on most of the modern Leica lenses. The steel rim is, other than being the size difference, is pretty much the same on these two guys. You can see when you hold these in reflected light that the multi-coatings are different, but as I understand, the optical formulas are the same. So you can buy this original 1960s steel rim lens, or you can buy the modern one. You're going to have almost exactly the same look. In my opinion, the newer multi-coatings probably give you a little bit better color fidelity, but this has the same optical signature of the flare tendency that this one has. I'm really fortunate to be able to have this lens to show you. There was not very many of these lenses constructed. They were made between 1960 and 1963. It's estimated that the steel rim lenses with the goggles, they were made maybe 8,000 pieces total production, and the goggles were, I don't have a set of those with me, but they set up here, and they indexed the finder of the M3 to go from 50 millimeters and widened it out to 35 millimeters. This one would have been made for like an M2 camera, which did not require the goggles. It had 35 millimeter frame lines built in, and of the lenses like this that did not have goggles, in black, it's estimated that there were only less than 250 of these made in black. With goggles, maybe less than 200, without goggles, less than 100. So this is a super rare lens, and we're lucky to have it here at the same time of the launch of the re-edition. So I think that's a lot of fun. That's probably the coolest thing that I've had out to show in a while, at least for me anyway. And I'm actually looking at my numbers a little bit more thoroughly. The chrome lenses, there were about less than 4,500 made with goggles, and this version is less than 4,500 units. So they're all really limited production lenses, no matter which one you get or how you look at it. All I can tell you is that if you have an opportunity to pick up the modern chrome steel rim lens, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it. It's a great lens. All right, well, thanks for hanging out with us, and look forward to talking to you next time. Bye-bye.